Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions from Betcraft. Okay, today is another wonderful, Friday morning, and once again, we'll come up with our predictions on this very channel. As you know, a lot of games are going on across the globe, and we are able to select these very few games. And look into them before bringing it forward for you. All right. Well, before we proceed, a little recap of yesterday's performance. We saw that yesterday we had quite a very exciting, outing yesterday. We've seen that we had five, out of six, correctly predicted yesterday. All right, and also that's to say we have one of our ticket, actually being very successful, and the other one, just missing out on that very match, Bodo Glimt against Karabakh. Also, Bodo Glimt uncharacteristically losing out to Karabakh on that occasion. But we had every other game that we have in our tickets yesterday, quite on point. All right, kudos to those of us who won, and today we look forward to doing better again in this predictions today. So in a short while, we'll be looking at these matches one after the other, and we'll be making a verdict based on the recent, data that we have for both teams. All right, but I want to use the opportunity to ask the folks who are coming across our video for the first time that are yet to subscribe to kindly take out time to hit the subscription button right now, so that you won't be missing out on our subsequent games that will always come up on this very channel on a daily basis. All right. That being said, without further ado, let's head to the business of today. And today we'll have two tickets as usual. Each of these two tickets contains three games. All right, we'll be starting with the first match for the first ticket, and it is in Danish first division, Denmark's first division, where we have B Copenhagen coming up against Fredericia. All right, looking at recent games for both sides, you could see that the home side, B Copenhagen have been able to achieve just one victory in the last six games, but they've also lost five, out of the last six matches that they had so far. And the away side, Frederica, have actually won four games in the last six, but losing two as well in the last, six recent matches but that they had. Taking a look at how they fared from home and away perspective, the home side, being at Detroit, Copenhagen, have actually had two victories, two draws, but have lost six matches in the last 10 home matches that they have so far. That's also not the best side even when playing from home. And the away side, on the other, Frederica have actually won seven games in the last 10 away games. As a matter of fact, the last five away games that they had so far saw them winning convincingly on those last five away games, winning with goals, quite over 2.5 goals. All right. So when you put all that together, you know that, Frederica is quite poised to take the results in this one. Also noting the fact that the last time they met was actually in September. We saw Frederica playing from home on that occasion, beating this very side by 3 goals to 0. All right, even though prior to that we saw B93 Copenhagen last year winning from away, but it is Copenhagen, Frederica, who is expected to rise to the occasion in this one, seeing their recent form, and we expect to see their way side winning out shortly in this very one. I will win. That's our verdict. All right, that takes us to the next, the second game for the first ticket. It is in the Egyptian Premier League, where we have a Smouha who will be facing a Zamalek. All right, Smouha in the last six have won four games out of the last six matches that they had. They've also had two losses, and Zamalek, on the other hand, have won three games, and also they've drawn three in the last six recent games, but have not lost any single match in the last six recent encounters. Look at Smouha, how they fared from home and away perspective. You can see that playing from home, they've actually won seven games in the last 10 home matches that they had. Also, they've lost three out of those 10 home matches. And on the other hand, Zamalek, on the other hand, have been able to achieve five victories in the last 10 away games, but they've also had up to four draws as well as one loss in the last 10 away games that they had. It's actually a very, very tough cracker, seeing that these two teams are quite, even in my opinion. And the last time they met, it was Smouha who played from home, and they won on that occasion by 1 goal to 0. But we also saw Zamalek, beating the side by 5 goals to 1, in October last year. But in this very one, we would definitely expect to see, expect that, Zamalek not lose out entirely in this very encounter. So it is their way side to win or draw. That's our verdict for that very game. So S2, that's what we expect in that very encounter. All right, that takes us to the next ticket. And it is in Wales Feeders League. We'll have Bangor coming up against Ruthin Town. All right, Bangor in the last six have won two games. They've also had one draw as well as three losses. And away side, Ruthin Town have won two games, two draws as well as two losses. in the last 6 matches that they had so far. Bangor, on the other hand, in the last playing from home, have actually been able to achieve 6 victories, three losses, as well as 1 draw in the last 10 home matches that they had so far. And the Ruthin Town, on the other hand, their away side have actually won 3 games, 1 draw, but have lost 5 matches in the last 10 away games that they have so far. And we're looking quite closely, you could see that for home side, the last 10 home matches that they had have produced lots of goals, seeing that 7 matches out of the last 10 home matches have actually seen them scoring over 2.5 in those matches. And the away side, on the other hand, have actually seen a very, very, very similar situation, seeing that 9 times out of 10 they've actually scored a lot of goals that is over 2.5. And as a matter of fact, the last away match that they had against Holywell saw them playing out a 5-1 score line on that occasion. So in this one, we expect lots of goals in this one, and Friday is actually a minimum of 3 goals appearing in this very encounter, and it is over 2.5. That's over there. And that concludes the first ticket. All right, that takes us to the next ticket, the second ticket for the day. Also, in Feeders League, Wales Feeders League, we'll have Denbigh Town, who will be facing Aboss UK. All right, Denbigh Town have won 4 games, 1 draw, as well as 1 loss in the last 6 matches. And away side, Aboss UK have won 5 games, but have lost just a single match in the last 6 or 7 matches that they have so far. And looking at how these two teams fare from home and away perspective, playing from home, Denbigh have actually won 5 games, 2 draws, but have lost 3 matches in the last 10 home matches that they had. And away side, Aboss UK have won 9 games out of those 10 away matches, losing 1 on that occasion to Cowling Bay. All right, that tells you that this team is a very strong side and they're doing very well. And also looking at how these two teams are, the score line, in the last 10 home matches for the home side, Denbigh Town have actually produced lots of goals as well, seeing that 8 times out of 10 they've actually had a score line that is actually over 2.5. In the last 10 home outings for the home side, and also Aboss UK, on the other hand, have actually seen the same situation. Also, 9 games out of 10 have resulted to over 2.5 for Aboss UK. So in this very encounter, minimum of 3 goals is quite expected. Because looking at head-to-head performances, how they fared the last 3 times they met, have actually produced over 2.5. So in this very encounter, we expect to see a minimum of 3 goals once again appearing in this very game, over 2.5. That's all right, okay. And that takes us to the next game for today, and second game in the second ticket. It is in French League One, where we have Olympique Marseille who will be facing Auxerre. Okay, Olympique Marseille have won 3 matches in the last 6 games. They've also had 2 losses as well as 1 draw. And the away side of Auxerre have won 3. They've had 2 losses as well as 1 draw in the last 6 matches that they have so far. Looking at how these two teams have performed from home and away perspective, you could see that for Olympique Marseille playing from home, they've actually won 5 games. They've had 2 losses, but have had 3 draws as well in the last 10 home matches that they had with Olympique Marseille. And away side of Auxerre haven't done so very well playing from away, seeing that the last 10 away games that they had actually saw them winning just 1 game, but have lost 5, and they've had 4 draws in the last 10 away games that they had so far. And looking at how these two teams fared, and the last time they met, it was Olympique Marseille who had victory on that occasion. That was last year, defeating this side by 2 goals to 1. On that occasion, prior to that, we also saw Olympique Marseille beating this very side. So the last 4 head-to-head meetings, I've actually seen Olympique Marseille, always beating this very side. So in this very one, the home side, Olympique Marseille, is expected to once again rise to the occasion and achieve a result in this very one, a home win. That's what we expect for that very game. All right, that takes us to the next, which happened to be the last for the second ticket, and also the last for the day. It is in Dutch League, where we have Utrecht will be facing Heracles. Amelo. All right, looking at Utrecht, the home side, in the last 6 matches, they've won 5 games out of those, but have lost just one match out of the past 6 or 7 games that they have so far. And away side, on the other hand, Heracles have actually managed to achieve 3 victories and losing 3 matches also in the process. All right. Looking at how these two teams fared from home and away perspective, you could see that it is the home side who actually had 7 victories in the last 10 home matches and losing 2, as well as having 1 draw in the last 10 home matches that they have so far. That tells you that 70% of the home matches have resulted to win for Utrecht. that tells you that a very good side as well. And when you look at Heracles in the last 10 away games, you have seen them actually winning 3 out of those 10 away games that they had so far, and they've also had 2 draws, but have lost 5 matches in the last 10 away games that they had so far. All right, putting all that together, also considering the head-to-head performances, you could see that the last 2 times both teams met saw Utrecht beating this very side on those 2 occasions. Beating them the last time they met was actually in February. And we saw Utrecht playing from home and also achieving a victory, 1-goal victory against Heracles. But prior to that, we also saw them beating Heracles from away last year, September, by 3 goals to 1. All right, in this very game, we also expect that trend to actually continue to Utrecht achieving a victory against this very side. It is the home side to win out shortly. That's provided for that very encounter. All right, that brings our predictions for you today on Betcraft to a conclusion. I wish you the very best of luck, okay? And I also expect your tickets to go green today. All right, remember to also play responsibly. It is a football game. Sometimes things can change actually in football games. All right, tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is a Saturday. It's going to be a big day, and we'll be coming up with operation on this very channel. So don't miss out. But until then, keep winning.